Hi guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Laputa and welcome to my Q&A. Okay, so we're going to kick off this Q&A with the first question from a Sneaky Ninja 1 on Twitter, and he asks, how did you feel when you left Capture? Well, a bit gutted because they were really good to me and I learnt a lot from them, but it was my personal choice and I wanted to explore something on my own which I'd never done before. You know, leaving something that was already established and, you know, had a lot of opportunities lined up. It was more to do with, it was theirs, not mine. I just basically come in on the back end of everything. I didn't really start it when it all formed, it was already started, so I felt I didn't belong there, as opposed to, you know, going in on something that was started from the beginning. When I left Capture, it was the boldest decision that I ever made, to go into the unknown and to start something from scratch, but it felt right and I'm not looked back. Okay, Trip40 on Twitter he asked, how long have you been producing? Well, I've been producing as Laputa since the back end of December. Producing in general, I've been producing since the age of, well, 13, 14, but it's never been on my own, it's since back end of last December, like I said. But sort of with other people, it's been what, 10 years? I was 13 when I started, I'm now 27, and yeah, so that's 14 years I'd say altogether, but it's only the last year, pardon me, that I've produced on my own as a single person, which is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but the most rewarding thing, because I'm learning a lot more rather than depending on other people to do that side of it. I need to be able to prove to myself that I can do it, and I am doing it, and it's hard sometimes, but I enjoy it and I'm learning, and there's nothing more really to say about that one. So we've got one from Setman MP, again on Twitter. Do you have any plans to have an EP on 99 Lives? You betcha. I actually announced an EP to arrive in September this year, but things didn't turn out as smoothly as I'd like, so the EP's on hold at the moment, but eventually, yeah, I do plan on having an EP release as soon as I possibly can, once I've got the right tracks and I'm happy with, you know, the selection of tracks that are on the EP. But yeah, that is definitely going to happen at some point. The only thing I can't tell you is when, but keep an eye out for it, because it will be coming very soon, fingers crossed. So we've got another one from Twitter by the Talon34. Who are some of the artists you look up to? Well, artists that are mainstream at the moment that I've looked up to are Calvin Harris and Madian, probably mainly, and Porter Robinson. Zed, Deadmau5, again Eric Prydz, they're all different artists slashed across a million genres. I look up to Skrillex, I think his music's awesome. Also, there's a lot of artists that make one track and you never see them again, but they just make amazing tracks, and I tend to dig a little deeper, and some of the stuff that I've released before are amazing. Deadpool 4000 from Discord asks, out of anyone, who would you want to work with and why? I'd like to work with Madian. I don't know, it's a tough one, I mean, I'm never saying I'm never going to collaborate in the future with anyone. As people who I've always wanted to work with, I've kind of worked with them, but I don't really have this need to want to collaborate with other artists for some reason. I think it's because, I'm not saying I never will, I think it's more of I've done enough, I've collaborated, I've spent, the past 10 years collaborating with other artists that I think I just want to focus on me. I've got a million songs backed up that I want to get released, so until all my songs that I've produced are released, I don't think I'm ever going to be looking into collaborating with other artists. But at this moment in time, I don't really particularly bother about, I'm just working with anyone, just mainly it's just vocalists. Vocalists I'd like to work with: Mike Posner, I'd love to work with him at one point. Matthew Comer. Chris James is a vocalist I'd love to work with. I think his voice is amazing and magical. But yeah, it's mostly vocalists who I'd like to work with as opposed to artists. And that concludes my Q&A. Thank you guys for watching. I cannot begin with how much appreciation you guys have shown me since creating Laputa and releasing in January, my first release in January, Masquerade. Your support has been incredible off you guys. Not just that, but it just seems to be getting stronger and growing every day. Thank you for the continued support, and it's highly appreciated. If I'd looked a year ago and looked at what I've achieved in a year, it's just mind-numbing to see what I've done in a year, and it's you guys I've got to thank for that. So yeah, thank you very much, and have an amazing day, and I will play some Rocket League now because I'm just addicted to that game. So I bid you farewell. Bye.